Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 Here is the Z107.7 local news for Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. A teenager out on bail for charges related to assault with a deadly weapon was arrested again on suspicion of domestic violence. On Friday, county sheriff's deputies from the Morongo Basin Station contacted Rodney Fraser Goodson, 19, at 4 p.m. near the intersection of 29 Palms Highway and Park Boulevard in Joshua Tree. Fraser Goodson, who is out of jail on bail related to a May incident in which he was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon, was last week determined by deputies to be a suspect in a recent incident of domestic violence. The details of the incident and the status of the victim were not immediately available. Rodney Fraser Goodson was arrested on suspicion of committing battery on a spouse, cohabitant, or date, and making criminal threats, and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $500,000 bail. Fraser Goodson is expected to be arraigned on misdemeanor battery of a spouse, cohabitant, or date, and 2 felony charges of making criminal threats with enhancements for committing a crime while on bail. In July, Fraser Goodson pled not guilty to 2 felony charges related to assault with a deadly weapon, 1 charge of inflicting corporal injury on a spouse or date, and making criminal threats, with enhancements for using a deadly weapon. Last night's meeting of the 29 Palms City Council was mostly an evening of gratitude, with some official city business mixed in. Reporter Heather Clisby was there and brings us this report.
Last night's 29 Palms City Council meeting was primarily a feel-good event with plenty of introductions, proclamations, and honoring going on before getting down to city business. The city's newest employee, Xavier Wilhite, was introduced. Born and raised in 29 Palms, he joined the Parks and Recreation Department mid-summer. After 20 years as a volunteer, 94-year-old Peter John Newman, a retired chiropractor, was honored for his tireless service with the food pantry, often driving more than 100 miles a week to deliver meals. Recreation Program Supervisor Amy Tessier provided an update on the Million Coaches Challenge grant bestowed by the National Recreation and Park Association. With a goal to train 1 million coaches nationwide by 2025, a $4,500 grant is being applied to local coach training. The public hearing on the reauthorization of the Tourism Business Improvement District came with swift, unanimous approval from the council. One member of the public, Eric Menendez, spoke about the need for more transparency and engagement from the TBID. Future discussion items included a need for shade at Freedom Plaza, as well as the need for a sign. Public comments included resident pushback on the commercial-scale solar project slated to begin in 2025. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
The Yucca Valley Planning Commission took one step forward to allow farmers markets within the town of Yucca Valley. Here is reporter Adeline J. Wells with that and more from last night's meeting.
The Yucca Valley Planning Commission meeting began with a public hearing regarding swap meets and temporary special events. Town staff revised the last draft to allow farmers markets on 2-acre parcels rather than the typical 5, and to be held only 25 feet from either state highway. The commission voted to move the ordinance forward to the town council. Following approval of the revised landscape plan and irrigation review for Nice Dream Ices, the commission moved on to a special use permit application by Ecogen Recycling Center based in Moreno Valley. The proposed site is located between the Jack in the Box and Pizza Hut on Highway 62. Town staff recommended that the commission deny the application as the site is within the corridor residential overlay, making it out of compliance with the development code. Several community members spoke on the matter, including Freddie Gutierrez, owner of Ecogen Recycling Center.
Our goal is to provide the communities we serve with a place to redeem their empty CRV beverage containers that is convenient, reliable, accessible, and well managed. This is a business that is more than just about making money. The environment benefit of our recycling aluminum, glass, and plastic containers is core to our values.
A representative from Venture Recycling Group submit a written statement noting that they would lose grant funding from CalRecycle should another center exist within town limits. While the commission agreed that the existing code did not allow for approval, they also raised the fact that the current zoning overlays allow few areas in Yucca Valley where such centers can exist. Additionally, the application could result in setbacks to other recent discussions, such as regarding food trucks. The commission voted to deny the current application by Ecogen and moved to ask the town council for for authorization to review said portion of the code in depth. The Planning Commission then discussed the town's Western Joshua Tree and native plant permit policy. Phase 1 of the sewer connection project prompted the town to allow ground disturbances within 10 feet of the Western Joshua Tree. Phase 2 is scheduled to begin in February. The town seeks to support homeowners with the required project while protecting our native plants. The Commission discussed potential remedies, including self-certification by contractors proving no Western Joshua trees are within a certain number of feet from the disturbance. Furthermore, they agreed the Commission should consider information on all native plants to be protected rather than just the Joshua tree. In his closing remarks, Commissioner Clint Stoker mused on the nature and duties of the Planning Commission.
The Planning Commission is here to look at the code and apply that code to a project, and we really work hard on doing that, even when things like tonight are personal things that we'd like to see happen, but the code tells us we can't do it. And that's our job, is to apply the code fairly to projects of any type.
Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The Joshua Tree No-Kill Shelter is holding a ribbon-cutting ceremony today for the first phase of the build-out for their new facilities. The celebration is this morning from 11 to 11:30 at the shelter at 4646 Sunview Avenue. The shelter's board of directors and manager will join 3rd District Representative Don Rao to commemorate the event, which is possible through donations from community members as well as county grants. The shelter also has a brand new website for you to check out with plenty of furry friends who need a forever home here in the high desert. Check it out at joshuatreenokillshelter.org. Public transportation is a critical service in the high desert, and Basin Transit is hosting a community meeting for feedback on services in Yucca Valley. Reporter Adeline J. Wells rejoins us with more on tonight's special meeting.
Basin Transit is hosting an interactive opportunity for residents to meet with staff and consultants and provide input as to how it can improve its services. The agency seeks to update its transit master plan to guide its resources and priorities for the next 5 years, and recently conducted a basin-wide survey to assess public opinion. Results from the survey, along with feedback gathered at the meeting, will help Basin Transit ensure its goals align with the needs and interests of the region. Changes may include improving the frequency and hours of transit services, adding new routes, and expanding local resources. The special meeting will be held Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the Yucca Room at the Yucca Valley Community Center. The meeting is open to the public, and Basin Transit is offering free rides to and from the event. To reserve a ride, call the agency at 760-366-2395. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
Heat illness prevention plans are on the agenda for tomorrow's meeting of the Basin Transit Board of Directors. At the public meeting, the board will consider adopting safety plans to prevent heat illness and safety procedures regarding sharp objects. They will also discuss a short-range transit plan and approve transportation assistance grants. The board meets tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. at 62405 Verbena Road in Joshua Tree. And finally, the town of Yucca Valley has shared the results from the 2024 Glow Run. In the 5K, the top 3 men were Jerry Moscato with a time of 18 minutes and 24 seconds, followed by Matt Clausen and Shane Bryson. In the 5K, the top 3 females were first Jenna McDonald with a time of 24 minutes and 46 seconds, followed by Haley Hunsinger and Naomi Garino. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.